Hello, my name is Jennifer. I make Philippine Travel Updates. Today is December 6th. What do you need to know about Philippine travel? Has there been any change on quarantine protocols or immigration requirements or red list? No change. It's still the same. While green list is still suspended, bad news about the travel cap is because of that, travel cap po will apply to all countries. Diba, travel cap na nga is exempted na, hindi na counted yung green list, but because green list is suspended, yung mga galing sa green countries, they have to quarantine again sa hotel, kaya counted na naman sa travel cap. So please stay updated po tayo. Listen to the flight advisories, no, email or text message of your airline for any flight changes po. Like our kababayan Berna. Hi Berna if you're watching. Hi Jen, grabe naman sa kapatid ko pagdating sa airport sa check-in. We were told that our flight is canceled and it's a problem between Hong Kong to Manila connecting flight because of limit of passengers. Yan, Berna is disappointed kasi diba Hong Kong used to be a green list, so travel cap shouldn't apply to them because green list nga is suspended, balik na naman sa travel cap. So please po, stay updated. No, listen to the advisory of your airlines for any flight change. But other people are worried with this new variant. Would the quarantine protocols be tightened even more? Can we go back? Is it possible that 10 days hotel quarantine will be required again for all countries? Let me answer. The DOH Undersecretary Maria Vergeire answered. She said, uniform travel policy for all countries unacceptable. Having a uniform travel policy for all countries, even those that have yet to detect Omicron or have low number of COVID-19 cases, is not acceptable. Truth. Uniform travel policy is unfair as it is a disadvantage for countries with low cases. She said that what's important right now is to classify countries under green, yellow, or red. Prevent further increase in cases in the Philippines because some countries would have more variants or more of these cases and some countries would not have this kind of situation. So all countries in the world have their different situations indeed. So don't worry. According to what she's saying here, there's a reassurance here that 10 days hotel quarantine will not be reimposed. As of now, wala pa siya. It's unlikely, malabo na mangyari, hindi mangyayari as of now. But there's slight changes. So for example, with the requirement to be released from hotel quarantine. So diba, I think it was September or November, we talked about this new DOT advisory in which BOQ certificate is no longer required BOQ certificate will no longer be required to be released from the hotel and negative test result will be enough na alone para makalabas ng hotel. Well, that actually mandate was never really fully implemented. Like some hotels were still requiring BOQ certificate. But anyways, back to old rules. Because of stricter quarantine and arrival protocols in the Philippines, BOQ certificate will be required again. It was contained in the new memo of OSS or one-stop shops, and in their memo last December 3 entitled Strict Imposition of the Revised Testing and Quarantine Protocols for Inbound International Passengers. It says that considering that the remainder of the quarantine protocols of the ROFs will be spent at home, so we know that there is now a home quarantine required to finish up the 14 days quarantine, it shall be strictly observed that the BOQ quarantine certificate shall be the only clearance of all ROFs, you guys, before being allowed to be released from their quarantine facility. Any delays in the release of the certificate shall be deducted to the remaining days of strict home quarantine for more than 24 hours of delay. I know it's not so good news because that means another thing that will stop you, another thing that you have to wait for. So 2 ways to get the BOQ certificate. So the BOQ certificate po will only be ready once your negative test result is released. So normally, you get your negative test result, then you can apply for your BOQ certificate. But in reality, guys, it's always up to what your hotel knows, what rules they know. So I know some hotels are already adapting with the negative test result only requirement for release. If that's what they know, then no. then you can just apply for your own BOQ certificate if it is really required by your LGU. Pero don't be surprised if some hotels will have different rules because sometimes the application in the Philippines of the rules are very inconsistent. But anyways, 2 ways to get your BOQ certificate. One is One Health Pass. So you go to onehealthpass.com.ph po. Then you click track swab test result. And then you input your OSS QR code and then your last name. So it should say there whether your test result is ready. If it is ready, then you can click here to print unified certificate. So i-click mo yan. Click. Tada! That's your BOQ certificate. Well done. The second way to get your BOQ certificate, which may be a faster way, is to request it, email request from to the BOQ. So you send a request to the BOQ. So how to send a request? Here is the instruction. So first, you need to answer basic info on your name, your home address in the Philippines, your final destination, so where you are going to stay in the Philippines, kung saan ka talaga uuwi, and then hotel name and address, country of origin, date of arrival in the Philippines, and number of quarantine days. And also attach a photo or screenshot or PDF file of your swab test result. If it has a password, then you need to provide for the passport. So you can send this to helpdesk.boq@gmail.com or boq.qc1@gmail.com. Yan. While for the negative test result requirement, if you have been keeping up to date to the Philippine travel rules, you would know that negative test result is now required for all airports in the Philippines, for everyone vaccinated or not, whatever yellow list country, yellow, red, green, whatever color your country of origin is classified, you need a negative test result. So entry without a negative test result was allowed prior to December 6, no? Until today, pwede pa. Pero starting tomorrow, December 6, strict implementation of the negative test result requirement. So no negative test result, no boarding, no entry to the Philippines. Okay, so secure na po your negative test result. So, a lot of people are confused when to get tested, kailan magpapatest. So let me just read again the specific requirement. A negative RT-PCR test result, not antigen but RT-PCR po, conducted within 72 hours. So it's not about when you receive the result. No, it's about when ginawa yung test. Yung conduct ng test, kailan ka sunab. Yun yung counting, hindi yung paglabas ng result, okay? Yung pag-conduct, okay? Next, 72 hours prior to departure from the country of origin. Within 72 hours po, ha? So, you know what, guys? If you're asking me, if I were the one traveling, I would get tested 2 days before my flight. I think that's a safe choice. 2 days. Tapos, just be assured that your result will be released by your laboratory within 24 hours para talagang yan yung pinaka-safe option. Just in case, no, merong mga slight flight changes or mga slight delays sa flight. Okay? Anyways, we have a handful of kababayans in Europe who are stranded. 50 in Europe. I don't believe this number. I'm sure there would be more. 50 Filipinos in Europe are stranded. 49 in Africa, stranded because of the travel bans. DFA calls on stranded Filipinos to contact the Philippine Embassy. It's important, guys, to contact the Philippine Embassy or consulate so that if magkaroon man ng repatriation or bayanihan flight, you will be notified, you will be included in the list. Yan. And then, there's some positive news naman that repatriation flights daw are already being arranged. And these repatriation efforts are more complicated because Filipinos have to be brought to the Netherlands before they could fly home. They want to centralize repatriation and do it in Netherlands. But remember, if it's only a repatriation po, based on history, in UAE and other countries, usually yung repatriation po is only for those who are going home for good or Filipino citizens stranded abroad. Pero if you're going home only for vacation, usually hindi nasasali sa repatriation because government repatriations are government paid. You don't pay for it. It's free. So, yun yung mga conditions usually. But let's wait for any guidelines. If it's a bayanihan flight naman, you pay for it, ikaw magbabayad. So, Filipino who will just go home for a vacation can avail. So, let's see kung anong repatriation yung sinasabi nila. Bayanihan ba yan or government repatriation? But just a warning for kababayans in Europe as Europe really continues to be the center or the epicenter of COVID-19 surge in the world. Brace yourselves po for the red list next December 16 to 31. There is a possibility that other Europe countries may be added. For now, there's nothing yet, but just stay updated if you're traveling soon and you're coming from Europe. Kasi there are two metrics for red list. Incidence rate kung maraming COVID, 100,000 per population, and Omicron. If there is a local case of Omicron in the community, marami na, then there is a chance that the country will be added on red list. I showed this list before. These are the countries that DOH is looking at, no? Yung mga naka-yellow, guys, naka-highlight na yellow. Yan. Be aware for that DOH has their eyes on these countries kasi they suspect or they know that there are local transmission of Omicron variant here. So watch out lang po tayo sa mga travel updates. Ngayon, wala pa naman. 14 countries pa din. Other countries are also tightening, no? Including Britain. They will require testing before travel. And they added Nigeria in the red list. So Nigeria is not included in red list in the Philippines. But it means when Britain puts country on red list, then only UK citizens, permanent residents are allowed. And they would have to undergo hotel quarantine upon entry into the UK. While in the US, starting tomorrow, at 24 hours, within departure, negative test result will be required for entry. From 72 to 24 hours, including vaccinated people. This is all the update for today, guys. Nothing big. Just a reminder of the BOQ certificate. Look for that, guys. Tanungin nyo muna yung hotel nyo. For those who are in quarantine now, ano bang kailangan for release? If they say it's just negative test result, don't argue. Yun na yun. You can apply for BOQ certificate na nga kahit hindi ka pa nasa quarantine hotel. So, yun lang naman. And for those traveling soon po, God bless you. And for those who arrived today, share your experience. Smooth lang ba ang process sa airport? Because I've been hearing issues about One Health Pass. People are finding it hard to register. Sometimes the website doesn't work kasi nga busy time na. All airports uses One Health Pass na. Tapos, influx of travelers. Maraming umuwi this December. Hindi naman tayo masyadong high-tech itong One Health Pass website. Siguro nagka-crash siya kasi masyadong maraming gumagamit. So, other travelers nahihirapan mag-submit ng negative test result at vaccination certificate. Kung nahirapan po kayo at hindi talaga umaccept, okay lang naman po. Pwede po yung pong dalhin yung printed copies ng inyong vaccination certificate or card and negative test result. Pero yun nga lang, pipila ka na naman pagdating doon. Mas madali talaga kung lahat na-upload na sa One Health Pass. Pero kung hindi naman talaga ma-upload, no, wag na ka nang masyadong ma-stress, dahil tanggapin na lang. Kung hindi talaga siya ma-upload, doon ka na lang pumila sa airport. Yun lang, diba? At it's not the end of your trip. Tuloy ka pa rin. So this is all for today po. This is all the updates. Stay safe and God bless you. Please like this video to support this channel. Bye!